Hector. Let's hear it again for Hector. He's on the front lines for the past year and a half. Hector, and I know he doesn't like to brag, so I'm going to brag for him. But when we say essential workers, we're talking about people like Hector. So you have one more round of applause for my friend Hector. You deserve it. You deserve 3 cheers. And after a hard day's work, what is he doing? After helping people struggling, some of them against COVID-19 here, he is organizing for the people of Venezuela, for the people of Cuba, for the people of Palestine. This is the spirit that we all need to embody. We all need to recognize that we are brothers and sisters, not just in this country, but across the entire world. That lives matter, not just here in the United States, but in Venezuela, in Cuba, in Palestine. An American life is not worth more than the lives of these people. And recognizing this, we need to change policy. We desperately need to change policy. Because sanctions, our own government's investigations have shown that sanctions are killing thousands of people across the world. They're not just an economic policy, they are an act of warfare. And it is time to end sanctions right now.
Sanctions kill. Sanctions kill.
Now let's get political for a second. Right? Because Donald Trump, I don't think there's probably a fan of Donald Trump in the audience, but he introduced something called a maximum pressure campaign to make the economies of countries like Venezuela and Cuba and countries like Iran scream. That's right. To pressure these people, to make the people feel pain, to deprive them of medicine, to deprive them of food, to deprive them of medical devices. I heard a story of a man from Iran who had a family member who was in a wheelchair. And the only reason he was in a wheelchair was because he couldn't get a simple medical device that would allow him to walk. When we talk about human rights in this country, does that sound like we're supporting human rights?
No! Inhumane!
It's absolutely inhumane. But what's worse is millions and millions of people went out and they voted for an end to the Trump presidency. They voted for change. And what we have seen on the policy of sanctions is a continuation of the policies of Donald Trump. The Biden administration needs to hear this message loud and clear. You cannot continue the policies of Donald Trump when it comes to the lives of people around the world and expect folks of good conscience in the United States to remain silent about it. Is that why you're here?
We will not be silent anymore.
We will not. Right now, what is desperately needed is progressive leadership in this country. And that's why we're here. Because we know that Rep. McGovern is a progressive leader. And as Packy just said, really represents the conscience that we're talking about. We desperately need a change to this policy with Venezuela. I'll quote Rep. McGovern's great letter. The Biden administration can no longer use the well-being of the Venezuelan people as a political bargaining chip. It is time for other ways to get his foreign policy accomplished. So I want to thank you, Rep. McGovern, for those strong words and for continuing to echo this message in the halls of Congress. And we implore you, we need your leadership. We need it right now. Bring your colleagues along with you, and the people will have your back. So thank you all. I'm going to turn it back over to Selena.